Man, it's just when you think. It's just when you think that Democrat policies, the Democrat policies that they love so much, that they are constantly pushing, you think that they couldn't get any worse. Okay, you think that at some point we would have a reprieve from the stupidity. But I guess not, because the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, under the Biden administration right now, was speaking at an event and said that he and the Biden administration are actively trying to get rid of voter ID laws in the United States. What was the excuse for this, you might ask? Well, he was speaking at an event with a lot of black voters there. And so, of course, the excuse was, oh, it's racist. Oh, yes, voter ID, very, very racist, very terrible. And but of course, there's another excuse. The real excuse is much more nefarious. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you the video here of what this guy had to say, because it's insane. Just watch.
The right to vote is still under attack. And that is why the Justice Department is fighting back. That is why one of the first things I did when I came into office was to double the size of the voting section of the Civil Rights Division.
Now, I just want to give a quick explanation for something that he just said. He said the right to vote is still under attack in America. I want you all to understand. He's not talking about us. He's not talking about me. He's not talking about you, because you are an American citizen. No. He's talking about illegal immigrants. This is the excuse. This is the real excuse for why they want voter ID to just slowly go away, or just quietly drift off into the ether. This is why they want it to go away, because ultimately, look, I believe there was a report that came out that said that there were 10 million illegal immigrants that have come into the United States since Joe Biden took office. That's a lot of voters. And of course, you see the reports all over the internet. You see the videos, you see the pictures, you see everything, and they're all saying that they would vote for Biden. All of these criminal aliens coming across the border, every single one of them saying that they would vote for Biden, because that's the one that's giving them all these free handouts. Let's continue.
That is why we are challenging efforts by states and jurisdictions to implement discriminatory, burdensome, and unnecessary restrictions on access to the ballot, including those related to mail-in voting, the use of drop boxes, and voter ID requirements.
Oh, there it is. But I don't think he fully understands what he just said. I don't think that he fully understands the insanity of what he just said. Because as of right now, all of the states control their own elections. This is how it is done. This is how our elections have been run in our country for the entirety of our country. The states have always controlled and done everything their own way in their own elections. Now there's some overlap in rules and things like that across the states. The elections are very similar across the states, but the states ultimately have control over how their elections are run. And this man says that he wants the federal government to step in and say no. Now, of course, this is very dangerous, because when the federal government is allowed to step in and remove power from the states, well, that pendulum can swing the other way too. And the minute a Republican gets into office in the federal government, well, guess what he's going to do to left-wing states? Are you seeing how this can very quickly fall apart? When the federal government steps in, when it oversteps its bounds and puts its hands all over things that it shouldn't be touching, this is what we get. We get chaos. We will not have elections if this happens. This is the reality. We will not have elections because the federal government will be able to arbitrarily step in and say, nope, I don't like that they're doing that. So, banned. No voter ID. Banned. No, illegal immigrants can now vote in elections. Boom. There you go. This is the reality. We will not have real elections if this happens. It's getting pretty close to not having real elections anyways. And for those of you who think, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, that's not me saying that. That's the Time magazine saying that. Oh, the shadow campaign to save the 2020 election. Yeah, they themselves called it a conspiracy to defeat Donald Trump in the 2020 election. Yeah, so that's not me saying that. Go talk to Time magazine about it. Let's continue.
That is why we are working to block the adoption of discriminatory redistricting plans that dilute the vote of black voters and other voters of color.
Yes. It dilutes the vote of black voters. And yeah, look, guys, look. Is there some discriminatory policies out there? Yeah, I'm sure there is. But that has to be fixed in the states. It's got to be fixed in the states because it's like I just said. If the federal government steps in, you're going to get chaos because the federal government cannot just. What the federal government's going to do is they're going to arbitrarily just put a big policy over everybody that doesn't work for everybody. Or it's just all going to be based on politics. And, red states can no longer do this. Whoa, hold on now. Or they're going to implement rules that massively benefit Democrats. Or if a Republican is in office, they're going to implement rules that massively benefit Republicans. This is unacceptable, guys. This is not a president or a politician or a leader that's being chosen by the people. This is a leader that's being chosen by the federal government and these arbitrary rules. Now, of course, we have this hilarious video. As for their excuse that this is, that voter ID laws are racist or, whatever, that bullcrap excuse, we still have this fantastic gem of a video. Let's watch.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask black people their thoughts on what you just heard. Do you have ID normally? You carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
That's a lie. Why would they say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes.
Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so we know what we need to carry around.
Everybody that I know have ID. That's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with, ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this, some type of trick candy cameras?
I know, right?
That's the only thing I brought with me.
That's a legit ID. I heard a lot also that.
She said, that's the only thing I brought with me was my ID. Guys, you guys get the point. You get the point, okay? It's garbage, okay? Their policies are garbage. These policies don't work. And ultimately, the reality is that they're lying to you. They're lying to you. And I'm not saying that Democrats are the only ones that do this. I'm not. At the end of the day, we all know that it's a big club. It's a big uniparty up there in Washington, D.C. It's Republicans. It's Democrats. I would say it's about 99% of the Democrat Party and about 85% of the Republican Party that's involved in this big club, this big uniparty. It's all garbage, okay? They're all garbage. They're all scum. They all hate the American people, and we should all be against them, okay? But unfortunately, you still have a lot of people who support the establishment and support these policies that don't make any sense. To give you an idea of just how, another idea of just how bad these Democrat policies are, we got this story from the Post-Millennial. Oregon recriminalizes possession of hard drugs after disastrous impact on decriminalization. Let's continue. Oregon lawmakers voted on Friday to make minor drug possession a criminal misdemeanor offense following the state's disastrous attempts at decriminalization in November of 2020. Oregonians voted for ballot measure 110, which decriminalized personal possession of drugs such as heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, and LSD. Oregon became the first state in the union to approve such a measure, turning possession of hard drugs from a criminal misdemeanor. Yeah, you guys get the point. They have now recriminalized the possession of hard drugs. Now I get it. It's a misdemeanor, but ultimately a lot of these people that are doing these drugs, they don't have a lot of money anyways. A lot of the times it's like homeless people living on the street. They don't have a lot of money anyways. So if you're asking somebody to pay a ticket or go to jail, you know what I'm saying? What are they going to choose? Are they going to choose their drug? Are they going to choose their addiction? Or are they going to choose to pay this ticket? They're going to choose their addiction. I mean, that's just the reality. When you have these level of addictions, it gets bad. So ultimately, these people are going to end up in jail because they haven't paid their tickets. That's the reality. And ultimately, I think that this is the best course of action. There has to be something. There has to be something. Now, personally, I would like for them people like this to be 5150'd. For those of you who don't know what that means, it's basically you are put in a rehab institution against your will. It's basically a prison, but you are rehabilitated. The entire purpose is to basically cure you of your addiction and to get you out of your addiction. Okay, and that is. Honestly, I feel like that's the best course of action. You're out there on these hard drugs. You're doing, all this stuff. I don't think prison is the right answer. Prison is ridiculous because these prisoners are getting drugs anyways. I mean, these people are able to get drugs left and right. There's drugs all in the prisons. The officers are bringing the drugs in for the prisoner. It doesn't make any sense. It's got to be some kind of rehabilitation center where you're taking these people in and you're holding them there until you are 100% sure that they are drug-free and that their addiction is gone and over. But I don't know, man. Ultimately, the point of this video is this. Guys, these policies don't work. Time and time again, we see stuff like this where these Democrats, they have to implement a policy and then they have to backtrack on it over and over and over again. I mean, you look at there. I saw a story about the Austin Police Department. As a token Texan here in the room, Austin, the Austin city of Austin is completely controlled by Democrats, basically completely controlled by Democrats, and so they implement a lot of Democrat policies. And their police department is falling apart right now. There have been entire portions of the city of Austin that went completely unpoliced during the month of February. Completely, meaning in this neighborhood, in these areas of the city, Austin's a pretty big city now, okay? In this area of the city, there were no police anywhere. If you call the police, you get put on hold. So, somebody could be trying to murder you, and you're like, oh, sorry, I got to put you on hold. That is a direct problem. That is a problem that came directly from the defund the police movement of 2020. And that the city of Austin implemented, the Democrats in the city of Austin implemented, and now they are suffering. This decriminalization of drugs is it's caused all kinds of problems. Look at the deaths. Look at the people dying on the streets. Guys, these policies don't work. And they always lie to you. It's like I just said with the voter ID laws. They're lying to you about the reason. They don't care about black people. Like, come on, seriously? Black communities have been ran by Democrats for decades. Okay, over 100 years. The city of Chicago has been ran by Democrats for over 100 years. Over 100 years. They've always had a Democrat mayor for 100 years. And look at the south side of Chicago. Is it getting any better? Black community, tell me. Do you feel like the Democrats are helping you? You know, voting for Democrats, has it helped your community, or has it just been more of the same? Crime, poverty, no job opportunities. What is it, man? What is it? Ultimately, I don't think it's working. But ultimately, they don't care about black people. They don't care. It's not that they think that voter ID is racist. They don't. They're lying to you. We have seen multiple times throughout this year that Democrats have tried to implement policies that would allow illegal immigrants to vote in local elections. They tried to do it in New York. It got blocked. There are other districts all across the country that have actually put this through. Guys, they're lying to you. And it's going to be disastrous if the federal government steps in and does this and destroys voter ID policy across the country. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we need to be contacting our reps. We need to be protesting things like this. We got to be speaking up, man. Speaking up and saying, guys, people in the black community, if you think that this voter ID law is ridiculous, or that their attempt to take away the voter ID law is ridiculous, speak up, man. Pull out your ID and say, hey, I can get an ID just like anybody else. Think about how racist that is. Black people don't know how to get an ID. Like, what? Yeah, that video, that second video I showed you, that's literally what they said. Before he had went to that black community, he had went to a primarily white university and asked those white university students, do you think that black people can't get an ID? And they literally said that black people were too stupid to get an ID. They literally said that. There you go, guys. There you go. That's, there's your Democrat Party. That's what they think of you. Guys, these policies suck. They don't work. It's all garbage. They're lying to you. We got to fight back, man. Figuratively, not literally, figuratively. We got to fight back. We got to keep speaking up. We got to keep speaking out against this garbage. It doesn't work. It's all terrible. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I'll have another video coming for you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment down in the comment section, and share the show with your friends. Follow me on all the socials down in the description, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we put out new videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.